Hey folks, welcome into the News 12 Now Desk. Thanks for joining us. We're taking a look at some of our top headlines, some of the big stories you guys are clicking on over on our website, WRDW.com. One of the biggest talkers we've got has been the Olive Road Bridge hit yet again. That is right. This is not old video. This is not an old story. This is happening yesterday. A truck was hit as it tried to go underneath. It knocked over a beam. So usually that bridge stays pretty strong, but this time it knocked over one of those beams there. This happened around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Officials say just try to remain alert as you go through there. If you're wondering how this keeps happening, I'm wondering the same thing. There are signs over there. There are lights over there. There's just about every, you see the sign right there is a low clearance. There's about every warning you can have going up to that area, and yet people still hit it. So I guess as long as it's there, people are going to keep hitting it. There's been talk about what to do there. You can't raise the railroad that goes over it because that's an expensive and not easy fix, and you can't really dip the road that goes under it because it'll collect up rainwater and be a hazard there. So it's just kind of like, what do you do? What do you do? I don't know. I don't know. It just keeps happening. It's going to keep happening until the end of time. That's just the way it is. All right, check out this car on your screen here. This truck in the bottom left-hand corner, that white truck. Columbia County deputies say they need your help identifying it, or if you know the driver, whoever drives it. That was involved in a hit and run last night. They say it happened on Columbia Industrial Boulevard around 6 o'clock. The truck was last seen heading east on Washington Road, heading for Richmond County. We're still working to figure out more details in that crash, any injuries, anything like that. But again, Columbia County deputies need your help identifying that truck or the driver of that truck. And if you have any information, contact Columbia County. Speaking of Columbia County, you got to check this out. This new crime center they've got. This is Columbia County's real-time crime center, now fully operational with a wall full of capabilities as they look to make sure everybody stays safe in the county. It was built uniquely for Columbia County. One of the coolest things I saw was they can take like 2 hours of footage and overlay it down to 4 minutes of condensed footage. So what the example we saw was they took every red car that had gone through this one intersection in a 2-hour span. They took all those cars and they put them basically what looks like on the road at the same time, but they have little clocks telling you when they were on that road. And they put all that into one little 4-minute span. Super cool. Go check it out if you haven't already. It's up on our website, WRDW.com. They are in the same area as the 911 call center, so they can bounce off each other when they get calls. They were able to find a suspect in the woods by his phone. I guess there was light beaming off the phone, and so they were able to find him, let deputies know, and they got that guy out of the woods. So it's really cool. It's for Columbia County, and we do have that story on our website, WRDW.com. And then the Masters. We are talking golf. I know it's still a couple months away, but a big announcement coming from the Masters yesterday. Augusta National Chairman Fred Ridley says anybody who qualified for the 2023 tournament under the current criteria that they have will qualify for or will be able to play, will be invited to next year's tournament. By my count, I think that was 16 guys who are on the LIV Tour will be invited to Augusta National come April. So I know there's been a lot of talk, a lot of speculation about how these major tournaments are going to handle these LIV Tour players. We've seen what the PGA Tour has done, kind of banished them from their tour. The majors aren't governed by the PGA Tour, so they've kind of got their own freedom with what they want to do. This was all developing last year during major season, so it was kind of like just let them play, we'll figure it out next year. And the Masters, being the first major of the year, is kind of setting the tone for what we can expect in 2023, allowing those guys to play. So who's getting invited? Well, we've got 6 former Masters champions on the LIV Tour. You've got DJ, Phil, Patrick Reed, Bubba, Sergio, and Charles Schwartzel. You've got major champions of the last 5 years. They're also invited. So that's Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, and Cam Smith. And then you've got guys who are in the top 50 at the end of the year qualifying. So names like Joaquin Niemann, Abraham Ancer, Taylor Gooch, Harold Varner, Jason Kokrak, Kevin Na, and Louis Oosthuizen. All those guys are off the PGA Tour. They're on the LIV Tour, but all those guys will be invited because they fall under the 2022, the normal criteria to qualify for the Masters. Now, Fred Ridley also said If there are any more changes moving forward in the future, they'll announce those in April. So we could have another update come April, but for now, that's what's happening. I go through this a little bit more in another segment on our OTT. So if you download our streaming app, you get our News 12 Now area, or if you head to our website, check out the News 12 Now area, and it'll be on there so you can check that out. Also worth a mention, we are seeing some very, very, very cold temperatures. We're not talking cold just for Augusta, where it's 50-something degrees and everybody gets out the winter coats. These are going to be seriously cold temperatures down into the teens, single-digit wind chills. Our First Alert Meteorology team is on it. They've got all the latest for you. Make sure you download the First Alert Weather app to stay up to date. And there are also tips on our website for how to keep yourself, your house, your family, your pets, everything safe and warm during these cold temperatures. Keep a little drip running in the faucet, layer up, obviously, try to stay inside if you can. Just some more safety tips for you, just to try to get through this cold weather that we're seeing ahead of the Christmas season. As always, you can find all this information up on our website, WRDW.com. For all these stories, we have Fred Ridley's full statement on there, all of our stories from last night that I broke down a little bit here, the latest on the Olive Road Bridge, which seems to just continuously get hit, and much, much more. Also, be sure to download our WRDW app. You can do it on your smartphone, on your tablet, or you can do it on your streaming device. So if you have a Roku, if you have a Fire Stick, if you have Apple TV, you can download our WRDW app. It is free. You can get all of our First Alert forecasts, I-Team investigations, high school sports coverage, and much, much more. So be sure to download that. That's going to do it for our top headlines for this Wednesday, December 21st. I'm off the rest of this week and all of next week, so I will see you back here on Monday the 2nd. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. And a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.